I'm very, very concerned, and hopefully you guys are going to be able to nip this in the bud before it gets too crazy. Because large language models don't know anything, you can't ever use them in any safety critical or I would say, critical information dissemination. You can't use them because they don't know anything. People call this hallucinations in America. I mean, maybe, but we have already seen that cars can hallucinate for real. So I would really caution you that anywhere where you've got some kind of neural net that's having to produce some kind of estimates, I mean, you need to be very careful because these systems do not know anything. Autonomous systems with AI, especially connectionist AI and symbolic, they cannot get past the rule layer. There's a wall there. If you need knowledge and expert-based reasoning, this is where humans reign supreme. On the skill and rule, autonomy can do very well as long as it has the right sensors and it doesn't have a lot of environmental uncertainty. They cannot eat true of large language models too. They cannot get past the rule-based reasoning. And so if you're going to start implementing these systems in your world in Pakistan, you need to make sure that you understand that you need a human there at the very minimal to coach it, to assist it, to help it, because it's not going to get past rule-based reasoning. If you're going to have a large language model in your world, in your company, in your education systems, in the government, it's adventures in babysitting. You better hire some babysitters. And so I think one of the things that we're seeing in America is that people have they think that they're going to use large language models to get rid of people. And this happened for Air Canada. Air Canada used a chatbot powered by basically a large language model, and the chatbot went rogue. It gave some bad advice to a passenger that wasn't true, and it about a grief fair. And the passenger followed the rules, and then Air Canada would not refund the money because it said the chatbot, even though the chatbot was wrong, they weren't responsible for what the chatbot told the person, and they said the person should have double checked to make sure the chatbot was accurate. Well, it went to court in Canada, and they found in favor of the consumer, and Air Canada had to pay all the legal fees and fines and what have you. So Air Canada learned the hard way that you've got to babysit these systems, and if you think that they're going to reduce your human footprint, you're wrong. It's making sure that you have all the people in your companies that understand how to test these systems, how to ask the right questions, how to make sure those perception systems are at least good enough. They don't have to be perfect, but they have to be good enough for your domain. But to do that, you really have to think about workforce development. Training people, and this is one of the reasons I was so excited to be able to do this learning circle is, this is really what it comes down to. Pakistan is not yet a powerhouse in AI, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't be. But you've got to have all right workforce development. You've got to train the right people. You've got to train them in the right way. Train people in how to manage AI, not just make AI, how to manage it. And it turns out AI needs a lot of maintenance. It needs a lot of retraining. It needs a lot of care and feeding. And so, AI is exciting. It's going to bring a lot of new capabilities, but it's also going to not necessarily, if you think it's going to replace humans, what I'm here to tell you is it's also going to create new jobs like AI maintenance. That's a whole new field that's emerging. And those people, we need a lot more of them, and they require a lot more training. And so, I hope that Pakistan can get ahead of some of these problems, as opposed to in America, the other problems with being the first to roll out a technology is you find out all the problems. So maybe it's good that you guys are kind of watching from afar and you can watch our lessons learned so you don't make the same mistakes that we made.